Hey, hey, everybody. You get both of us in the kitchen again. It's Mountain Cocoa and Missy, and my daughter, Kenzie, is usually always on hand to help me out. And when it comes to gingerbread making, you usually need more than one person.
Oh, always.
Y'all. So, y'all, this gingerbread it just hits me right down in my heart because my mom and I used to make this all the time together for Christmas time. And in the fall, we'd always have Mountain Heritage Festival. We're from Letcher County, Kentucky originally, and there was always a Mountain Heritage Festival down in the mountains of southeast Kentucky. And our church would always make gingerbread. Kenzie probably still remembers a little bit of us going out there and going out to the Mountain Heritage Festival. We would make like 500 pieces of this gingerbread, and Mommy loved to make this gingerbread. So this kind of hits me right in my heart today. Makes me miss Mom, but also at the same time, we're doing it in honor of my dear mom that just passed away actually in September. And but gingerbread is this is a 100-year-old recipe that we've been making for years, and this is in my cookbook. So if y'all have the cookbook Mountain Cooking with Missy here, I should turn it up right. It is in my cookbook, but I do want you to take note right at the beginning. I'm letting y'all know that I'm only making a half of this recipe. The recipe that's in my book is on page 96. That is a full recipe. It makes quite a bit of gingerbread, and this is more like gingerbread cookies. Okay.
Yeah, it's not hard.
When we make them, this is how it's always been made. It's not in a loaf pan.
We should get cookie cutters.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily make gingerbread men out of this, or make shapes out of this if you wanted. So even though this is titled Old Timey Gingerbread, which it is
not bread.
Yeah, it's actually like cookies,
and they're not hard.
Yeah, they're very soft. This is a soft baked.
They're the best.
Yeah, they are
They're
the best.
They're so good.
And on that note, let me just tell you that down in southeast Kentucky, there's a gingerbread festival in Knott County, which is not too far from Letcher County, and this was always one of the gingerbreads in that festival. I will tell you that. But I'm just telling you,
Faithful.
Yeah,
That's
Old Faithful. Sure. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat what the ingredients are. Again, take note that we are just making a half a recipe of this. The full recipe, we just have to cut it in half, but it is in my cookbook. So this calls for self-rising flour. So we're using white lily, and there's 1.5 cups of self-rising flour here in our bowl. Down where we're from, we call it flour. Mommy called it flour. You're going to need 1.5 tablespoons of ground ginger. And you want it to be heaping. You want it always be heaping. Anytime you're doing like these kind of measurements, heaping is best. You're going to need 1 heaping teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 heaping teaspoon of baking soda. And she's going to add that right to our flour mixture.
Starting now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going to add that right to your flour mixture and just kind of mix that up. Now the wet ingredients,
you smell that?
I know it smells so
Woo!
good.
It smells good.
Now the wet ingredients is as follows. Then again, this is a half recipe. We're doing a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Yep, buttermilk. A 1/2 cup of molasses. We're doing 1.5 cups of sugar, and we're doing 2 eggs plus a white of an egg. We're doing 2 eggs plus a yolk plus a white of an egg, because we use the white of the egg to froth up and to brush the tops of the gingerbread. Now, she's going to show you a little trick here.
Life hack. When you're using stuff like molasses or honey or anything like that, you know how it like sticks to your measuring cup and then it gets all gross and you don't know if you got it all in there.
Spray it with some cooking spray, y'all.
Just get it all.
And it'll slide right out. So
slide right out.
Yeah. We're going to put a 1/2 cup in there. Sorry, I scratched you. We're going to put a 1/2 cup in there, so I'll pause the video until we get it out. All right, so here's the buttermilk and the oil. She's going to add the molasses to it, y'all. Now, I just want to tell you, if you are a diabetic and you are wanting to cut down on your sugar intake, you could just sweeten this with molasses. You don't have to add the sugar if you don't want to. It won't be as sweet, but it still be good because you are using molasses, by the way. So if you want to do that, go ahead.
My eggs.
Eggs. Your eggs, always when you're baking, do room temperature eggs. And the sugar.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Whisk that together. So basically you're just creaming this together. And once you get all this cream together, you want to add it to the dry ingredients. All right. Sugar. All right. She's going to mix that well. All righty. They're going to add the wet to the dry. Y'all, this big old bowl here, a lot of people ask me about my bowls. Mom bought me bowls because she knew I love bowls. And she'd always hit the Goodwills, and she could find stuff, I'm telling you.
Mama could literally find anything.
Yeah, she could find anything in a Goodwill. So this here bowl, it's one of my mom's specials that she got, and she's like, I got you something. So,
and then later on, she found like the matching piece at a different Goodwill.
Like a bigger one, and they're just alike. It's just a little bit bigger than this one. And usually when I make the whole batch of the whole recipe of gingerbread, I put it in the big old bowl. So you just want to mix this until it's all combined. Now, you are going to add about another cup of flour once you get this stirred up. So it's going to take her just another minute or two to get all stirred up, and I'm going to turn the camera so you can see it. Hey, look at that, y'all. It looks like chocolate. Now this is really dark gingerbread because that molasses is really dark. It's black strap molasses, but it's, oh y'all, this is so good. I can just lick the bowl. Now at this point, we're going to add about another cup or so of flour, just so we can make this thick enough to where we can turn it out onto our floured surface, because we're going to actually need this. All right, y'all like my little cup? Hear me?
Is that a Mamaw specialty?
This is my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law gave me these cups. I got these old tin cups, and so this is about a cup more of flour. And you want to make it, like I said, thick enough to put out onto a floured surface because we're going to need some more flour in this.
You gotta roll it out.
Yeah. So you want to add enough flour to your batter to where it starts getting kind of stiff. See? Where I can be able to put it out onto my floured surface to start kneading it a little more so I can make the balls for the cookies. Now, we're ready to put the dough out onto a floured surface. So see, it's really kind of thick. Put enough flour in there until it looks like that. So you want to put you some flour onto your surface, just a little more, maybe another cup or two. Spread it out. And I always do my countertop with some like wax paper or parchment paper or something. And I do half of the batter at a time. I don't do the whole thing at a time. So let's get half of this out. Y'all, this smells so good. And yep, I eat the batter. I don't care about eggs. We use farm fresh eggs most of the time anyway, so I don't care. So about half of that out onto your floured surface. Now you just want, this is really easy. Now, any rule, like when you're making biscuits, you got self-rising flour, you don't need biscuits, all right? You don't need, it makes them tough. But for this, you do knead it a little bit. You're going to knead it enough to where it's a smooth dough and where you can form a ball to make your cookies. So I'm just going to do this. I just keep gathering my flour around, bring it toward me, fold it over, until it's enough to where I can form a ball. All right, we'll come right back. So now you want to get your cookie sheet. So we're going to bake these on a cookie sheet, and when she just sprayed them with some non-stick spray. And see, this is a good smooth dough here. And you want to just pinch up your dough about maybe about that size.
Yay big.
Yay big, as Mommy would say. And you just do them with your hands, or if you want to, if you got a floured surface, or if you have like a granite countertop or something, you can do it on your countertop. See, I don't. I have a butcher block. So I just do mine like that, enough to make a smooth ball. See? And you want to put it onto your baking sheet like that. If you want to make these bigger, you can. I'll make another one here for you. If you want to make them a little bigger, you can do that. But these will spread out pretty good. See? They're going to be just smooth as all get out, y'all. As all get out. Now, once you get them like this, take your fingers, press them down. See?
I got this.
Yeah. Or yeah, you can use a jar. We always use our fingers. And now what you're going to do, you're going to do the egg white. Kenzie's going to do the egg white for you. Now you want to put these, you froth up your egg white. The egg white makes them glossy. And if you want to sprinkle some extra sugar on top of them, you can, but we never did. And you just want to brush that egg white on top of them right before you put them in the oven. You want to put them in a preheated oven at 375 degrees. You want to bake them for about 8 to 10 minutes. If you want them more of a soft baked, just keep an eye on them. You might want to bake them around 8 minutes. If you want them a little more like baked or like a little crispier on the edge, just bake them a little longer. But we like them soft baked.
They're good when they're soft.
So I'm going to finish filling up our cookie sheet here, and then when they come out, you see how they look. Now look at that gingerbread. These little gingerbread cookies, y'all. These are perfect. This is like, they're still soft baked, and I baked these, this size right here, I baked them for about 8 minutes. So we'll let them cool a little bit. Y'all look.
Perfect.
Just like I remember. Y'all, they're not dry. I mean, I don't like them dry.
No, but I don't want them.
But these are like
mushy.
They're not dry.
Look at those layers.
And they're not mushy. Yeah.
They're like perfect.
Real good.
I didn't even notice that.
Y'all. And the when you do the egg
It's
on
like
top,
a nice.
gets a good seal on it. That also helps them keep them from being dry. These are very tender cookies. Y'all hear my dryer go off? They're very tender cookies. I love them with hot chocolate, milk, coffee. They're so good. And y'all, if you did not want to make these in cookie form, this gingerbread in cookie form, literally, y'all, this is really how it was made. All these years, this is how it's always been made. But if you wanted to make it more like a bread or like in a loaf pan, when you add, you don't have to add all the extra flour to it if you don't want to. You can take that batter, that wet batter, and pour that into a loaf pan or into a like a 9x13, and you can make it in a cake form if you wanted to. If you did not want to do it to make it look like the cookies, but we love the cookies. So, and there's so much you can do with these. You can sandwich these with some cream cheese frosting, make some, what we call them all the time.
Movie pies.
Yeah. And like I said, you can roll them out, make some little cute little gingerbread people or whatever.
Look at my baby gingerbread man.
Yeah. So Kenzie took them and made some little.
But I think they're cuter when they're like really small ones.
So, yeah. 10 out of 10. I'm telling you, this recipe is classic. It's so good. The molasses in there really sets this cookie off too. So, hope you try it. If you do, y'all, this is a perfect This is a perfect recipe to make for your family, for Christmas, your youngins.
Let the kids cut them out. Like, let the kids use a cookie cutter.
Yeah, your grand youngins, whatever, y'all. I'll tell you, it's really good. So I hope y'all make it. If you do, let us know. Tag us @ Mountain Cooking with Missy. And let us know, y'all, if you make it. And this is in my cookbook, so I hope you try it. All right? Thank y'all for watching Mountain Cooking with Missy and Kenzie. Kenzie? Yeah, my little sidekick. Where's nothing fancy. Just good eating. Bye, guys.